Lactose intolerant. What were you gonna do?
And we're live.
Do you want to start over and do it again? I said we don't have a plan, and you said no, and then you come in. And we're live. We could redo it.
No.
Actually, you know what we could do is we could hop on a screen that like makes it all black for a second, then go back and then pretend like it's the beginning. Have you? I don't know. But speaking of, I saw him. I talked to him last night. Wolfie. He had some nerve.
R.I.P.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Wolfie.
R.I.P. Wolfie.
R.I.P. Wolfie, the Wolfie of my heart, which is different than the current Wolfie. I mean, they're the same, but, you know, it's all about readjusting the expectations and the image that you have in people of their head, because over time, people naturally grow and evolve. Mm-hmm. Also, Wolfie's a little bitch, because that'll start drama.
Wolfie doesn't watch this.
He's been so behind.
Listen.
That's a quote from him.
And he's real for that.
I get it. Me who missed one week.
Pharrell.
I was too tired 1 week of Critical Role, and I said, I guess I just won't follow Campaign 2.
That's how it feels, though.
Yeah, it was on episode 24 of Campaign 2. Which, if you know, you know. And I went, I'm just EP. And then I think I still am taking that nap. Yeah. You know?
Sometimes we take a nap, and sometimes the nap takes us.
I fucking wish I would finally to be released from this hell. Get those released. Released. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Relly asked.
If I ask nicely. I love the way this ass is rellied. Got that relly jelly. Ew, that sounds a little bit like bodily fluid.
That did.
Mm-hmm.
That do.
I'm sorry for excreting that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the shit I say could be called excrement, you know?
It could.
Mm-hmm. And that's the fecal point of my essay. I almost said focal, which wouldn't have been as funny.
No.
I had to cop. I had
of
to stop
course.
myself.
Yes.
Could you imagine? What's up?
The ceiling basement.
The what? The ceiling basement.
That's what's up.
Oh, ha ha ha! That's true.
The attic.
The upstairs basement.
That was a callback to our recent stream.
Ooh.
That you all should watch.
You all were there for it.
Some of you were there.
You should comment if you were there or not down in the doobly doo. You don't like it?
Yeah.
I mean, we could keep calling it the pig pen.
It is.
I would like to say that was never my genuine intention.
It was.
But
from day one, you know it.
Well, the moment that you said, no, we can't do that, I said, watch me. What? But then I didn't think it'd actually just stick.
But it has to. How could it not? It's covered in mud.
It's brown and sticky. It's a stick. God.
I knew there wasn't a Rolo in there.
But unlike me, you don't leave your leftovers.
But for button area moment, I felt the thrill of possibility.
What do you think of how much like imagination goes into a Rolo?
Right.
Because it's never what I expected.
No.
It's exactly what it says, but never in a way that you would anticipate.
I'm baffled and beset and begotten and beguiled by the notion, the thought, the possibility.
Bipartisan. Bisexual.
Well, hold on.
I know.
Hold on.
Bipartisan in this economy? I don't think so.
Come on. People buy Rolos.
I got a Rolo on my wrist.
Like they just they're in the grocery store.
They're still stocked.
They're at the Greens grocer.
You can buy Rolos, and you can't buy the what is it? The Sweet Tarts sour chews. You can't get those anywhere.
Right.
Things that I eat. But Rolos, you're saying you can find them.
You can just get those at a grocery store. Like you could
at your local grocer,
you could,
or at like a chain.
It depends. It could be your local greens grocer, or it could be, a supermarket situation.
Or it can be your, out of local greens grocer.
It could be.
Not at Aldi.
Perhaps you have to travel.
They might. Possible.
It could be beef.
You got that pubtro? I hope you do. Otherwise, it costs money to go and do things you want to do.
You could, but they sell them.
Just like individually wrapped, one single Rolo.
But they'll sell you like a tube of Rolos.
Which I feel like is just inherently not. It is either too many Rolos for one sitting or not enough. No one ever wants 4 Rolos.
Right.
I'm assuming there's 4 in there.
I believe there might be 8.
8?
Well, shrinkflation is probably 7 by now.
Good. I at least want to know I'm getting fucked, if I'm going to buy a can.
Just shove the tube of Rolos.
It's right up my perineum, the falcon, peanut butter. Baby.
Yes.
Me. You. Wordplay.
Does it feel good?
Welcome to the Hell Yeah
podcast.
Welcome to the Hell podcast.
If we edited these, we would do that.
God.
But we don't.
One day. We could.
I won't.
I know
someday you might.
See,
someday I never will.
I will never say that I will again, because then I'll get anxious about it. And it's like, okay, but no one told you had to. And it's like, but I said to somebody once in an offhand comment that I would. And what if they remember? I should make sure to just think about this all the time and never just let it go. Mm-hmm. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Something borrowed, something old.
Something blue.
Mm-hmm. Something who?
Ooh. One fish, two fish. Suck my who's what?
I was going to say Pringle seaweed fish.
Proncles.
The piranacles. I need a tool to...
Perhaps a smaller hand.
Yeah, are you saying that my hands aren't dainty?
I didn't say that. You did. There's always a smaller hand.
There's always a smaller hand to fry. I'm imagining we're playing cards and it's like there's always a smaller hand and you pull out a smaller deck of cards. Oh no, I didn't know about the small blind.
Like the jumbo cards that we used to play King's Cup with.
I still have them.
Hell yeah.
Because why would I get rid of them?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't open up where they're at and then open them up and use them.
Well, no.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Who would I play them with?
Cringe.
It's just me. I play solitaire with jumbo cards by myself.
Work, though.
Because I can't see.
When I play my cards, I can't see.
God, I mean, the best way to play any card game is to play open face, because it does psych people out. I can't believe it works sometimes. I'm just, hey, here's what it's like, well, I can already account for what you're going to do. Can you? Because I don't.
It would really suck if you lose.
God, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, I have no idea how to win, but I want to ruin your win. If you do. I want it to be tainted, and I want it to be
tainted win. Ooh, tainted win.
When and it's tainted.
So, imagine, if you will.
Be quiet.
Goodness. Oh, it was because of...
we got a little bottom.
It was because of the gaming.
The bottom! There we go.
There we go. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Anyway, you were saying.
Imagine, if you will. Mm-hmm. Music is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ba-ba-ba.
And now you realize that the song is by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay, so Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The music is Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
The recording and performing artist of said song is Red Hot Chili Peppers in this moment.
Is it Californication? I'll get there.
We'll get there.
Because it doesn't matter what song you're listening to. Eventually, given enough time, it will be.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Hotel California.
There is you hear a word in this Red Hot Chili Peppers music playing, and the word is California.
Mm-hmm. California is heard.
Part of it. Now, if you had to ask yourself, what song am I listening to? Using all of, the clues before you.
Mm-hmm.
What song might you imagine you were listening to?
Under the Bridge?
No.
Well, so that was me trying to not necessarily be cheeky, but I'm like, I don't think it's Californication, because they don't say California necessarily.
So I got confused.
I don't know, maybe.
I was hearing a song, and I was like, oh, I like this song. I'm like, this is like the only Red Hot Chili Pepper song I like.
Oh, and you said that out loud?
I did say that out loud.
No.
And I was like, I like this song because it's like, California, rest in peace. I was like, I like that song. What's that? I was like, yeah, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Californication, of course. So then I get home, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to listen to that song again. So I say,
as one does.
So I say, hey, AI assistant listening device, play Californication. Yeah, play Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. And he says, okay.
RHCP.
Playing Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
On Apartment Group.
And the song starts playing, and I go, this isn't the song I was just listening to.
These lyrics aren't similar.
I was like, I know this song, but this is not the song I was listening to. What other California-based song by Red Hot Chili Peppers was I listening to?
Could there be?
Turns out I was listening to Danny California.
Oh, yeah. I would not have guessed that.
And I forgot that they weren't the same until I listened to the one, and then I was like, oh, yeah, these are two separate, distinctly different songs.
Mm-hmm. But they weren't different in your head.
They weren't until the moment when they were played, and I went, oh, I don't like Californication very much, but I do enjoy Danny California.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we all kind of love Danny California.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Simultaneous release.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. He just says a lot of shit.
I think that means they come at the same time.
I would figure that, but like rest in peace.
Right.
And then they come at the same time. I'm like, unless they're doing a Romeo Juliet sort of thing.
I don't know. I don't listen closely to the lyrics. I mostly just go, California, rest in peace. Simultaneous release. California, show your teeth.
Like that, like a parade hand.
I'm
your cream. Beans and peaches. I don't know about all that.
Right.
That sounds like the songs.
Yeah.
Are you in Red Hot? Are you a guitarist?
I don't like talking about my previous work. I told you I only like Danny California anymore.
You guys know that Eric does not like going to Starbucks or coffee shops, but it's not because he doesn't like coffee, but it's because he gets tired of being recognized.
Listen, I've been trying to tell him, famously, you let him know, no reruns this year.
No rerun. Well, that was last year.
Well, yeah, but
I guess no reruns in general.
I've carried it through to this year.
It's a good one.
Actually, I think that was 2022.
Who?
What?
But it might have been 2022. It's kind of every year there's no reruns.
The visceral feeling of...
There is remakes and reboots, though.
That's different, though. Mm-hmm. The visceral
as
feeling...
As long as there's money to be made.
The visceral feeling of discomfort when I was watching a video that was talking about... It was like, they're like, our year in review or whatever of a particular channel I was watching. And they were like... Yeah, we did this. We actually did this same kind of video in January, but in January of 2019, 5 years ago. And I almost dropped something.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was just 2016, though.
Right.
Like, you remember that whole thing with the kid and the gorilla?
Pokemon Go Summer.
Yeah. Everything that was important in life.
Pokemon Go is almost 10 years old.
Thank God. It acts like it.
It's 8 years old.
You remember when they used to have steps so you could see how far away your Pokemon was? You might not.
It feels like Pokemon Go has been in its terrible twos for 6 years now.
Hey guys, they're growing out of it. Hey, we're just about.
I wish they'd grow into it.
We're about 3 or 4 really dense updates away from having something workable. Speaking of,
At work.
not me. It couldn't be me. I say, nervously checking my phone. Emails.
I couldn't possibly be at work.
At work. I'm at work right now.
At work.
I'm at work all the time.
I just shipped my bed.
Oh, work. I just pooped. I don't know.
I just defecated in my drawers.
I just obfuscated my intentions.
I hate that word.
I don't like it either.
Obfuscate.
It sounds like it's what it's doing when you say it. I don't like a word that has to crawl out of my mouth.
Yeah. Obfuscate fights you on the way out.
Mm-hmm. And it claws, and it's just not good. Obfuscate.
I don't like it.
I don't like its plasticky face.
I don't like its. I can't remember.
I don't like their hair. I don't like their plasticky hair. Faces.
I don't like their plasticky faces.
I don't like the way that they just dance, and
I don't like messy queens.
Like,
I can't remember the rest of it.
It doesn't matter.
She's icon.
Truly.
Gia gun icon status.
Yeah, I was to say Taylor. No, Gia icon.
Gia icon though.
Gia icon.
Gia
gun.
Gun.
Gun status.
Gun. She is the boom boom con icon.
Icon. Way to go, Gia gun. What is it? What is the Joker phrase?
Looking cool, Joker.
Looking cool, Gia.
I say that too often.
Looking cool, Joker.
I never play as Joker, but that silly little line.
Yeah, I never pay enough attention to like understand how what is allowing the charge to happen so that you can have the stand behind you or whatever.
I believe it's damage dealt and received.
Which seems like a not fun way if you're not good at hitting.
Right.
But you also don't want to get hit. You know who's a great character? Cloud, Final Fantasy. Because he can press down B and he charges up his big attack.
And all 8 of his costumes are the exact same. That's not fair. He has 2 costumes.
He has 2 costumes. That is correct. Thank you. Put some respect on it. Both of them, mid.
Part of it.
Mm-hmm. You know who has great costumes in Super Smash?
Sephiroth!
Exactly. One is shirtless. How could
Titty
you?
out.
Anybody who's showing more skin is immediately going up on the roster. Like, we have our classics, like perennial classic or seminal classic.
Yes.
Shulk.
Yeah.
Great. Would you
Hot
play
Boy Summer
Shulk other
Shulk.
way? No.
No.
I don't want to
not.
know. He's got 4 spells. I don't know about all that.
No, he has the Monato's power.
Is that what is?
You're thinking of Robin.
No. Well, oh, yeah, I guess is that what it is? Those
Well, they're not
little,
spells. Okay, no. You are thinking of the right thing, but you wouldn't call them spells.
Yeah, he wouldn't call them. Hero
It's the
has
Monato's
spells.
power.
Yeah, is that what it is? Monato's power?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who Monato is.
It's the sword.
Oh, I only played the beginning of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I wouldn't know.
I don't know anything about any of them. There's a chicken.
Chicken.
Is that a chicken?
Is that it? Chicken.
Yeah, there's like a big like chicken, I think, because it appears in his final smash.
I don't know. Could be Red 13. Right. That was a character in Final Fantasy VII. You would know that. That's your favorite character. That's your favorite companion. It's Red 13, just so you know.
No, my favorite is the one that says, I make psychic predictions.
What?
That is a very deep cut reference to one of those old like Newgrounds videos.
Oh, bitch.
It was like a Halo parody where at one point, Master Chief is doing lots of things, and at one point he like somehow
Is he taking his helmet off?
He somehow like ends up for no apparent reason. It's the scene suddenly shifts to the clip from Final Fantasy, and there's this like bigger magical beast gentleman person of some sort that goes, I make psychic predictions. So me and Brandon say that to each other because we watched that Newgrounds video together back in like 5th grade, and I don't know anything about any of it. I don't know it.
I don't blame you.
I don't know it.
That's okay. That is more than enough. Like, that's a good deep cut because like I wouldn't know more. Like,
I think it's from Final Fantasy VII. I really don't know.
the majority of my knowledge about Final Fantasy comes from Kingdom Hearts and where they intersect. So,
yeah.
Although Vivi's cool. We like Vivi. You like Vivi. Actually, I think you would like Vivi.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
The little black mage?
I like the car.
It's not a Vivi. Oh, the car in Final Fantasy 15? Oh, work.
I don't remember what the car looks like. That was just the only... I'm grabbing. You ever just grab at straws?
Yes. I have thoughts and feelings about Final Fantasy 15, and I think I finally have a forum to discuss them.
Okay.
So I played that game.
Yeah.
I played it while I was watching my parents' house at the time, and I was able to put a chair in front of their massive fucking TV, and I said, "This is great." Loves it. And you know me, 100%er bitch. I'm gonna try to. I want to do everything in the area before I have to go to the next area.
Right.
Which will ultimately result in a whole lot of game and then no game because like you did everything, and it's bittersweet. But at least then you did it all. I remember going through Final Fantasy 15. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Aside from the fact that at multiple points, one or more party members ends up splitting off from the party for a bit. Gladiolus goes off and does something for a bit after getting pissed off. Prompto gets kidnapped or something like that. And Ignis, of course. And like mild spoilers because like shit happens through it. But the whole gist of it is that like you are not Prince Noctis, who's going to go find his betrothed, who is the person who's of importance. I forget her name. Like it's not Lusamine, but
Princess Daybreak.
Princess Daybreak. That's a good one.
To go with Prince Noctis.
Oh well, of course. Oh,
two sides of one coin.
Oh God, I wish they might. They could never. But you played this game. I bitched about it before, but I've played this entire fucking game. And there was one quest that I didn't think I needed to go back to because I figured, I can't figure out where these flowers are. So most likely it's one of those quests that you get in Act 1, but you don't actually get to finish until like Act 3, which would make sense. Totally fine. Not a big deal. No, that was not the case. That was the only quest I didn't finish and prevented me from getting 100%. And I said, I hate this fucking game.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you finally fucking are like, it's like, okay, time to go to like where your betrothed is. It's like chapter 7 out of like 13 or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, once you do, like, you're not gonna be able to come back for a while. It's like, yeah, not a problem. Nope. Railroaded for the rest of the fucking game, which is fine, I guess. I also found the combat to be not like boring, but like the final fight was kind of sucky because if you have all the king's weapons, which I went out of my way to go do, like find all of the whatever, like you just hit square to win. Or, it really felt like that.
It's made by Square.
I just keep Enix. Enix.
I've been working on
your sounds.
On making that sound specifically.
Which one?
Like the puffer fish.
Okay.
I've been working on it.
Because then you could throw it into your audios as like a real like a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
With swords, and it's just you're just hearing Lasco going, and then all of a sudden you hear writing that down at work. Evil deeds.
How does one spell?
It's like A-U-U-G-H, maybe. There's DLC for that game that I purchased years ago, like the pack where it actually explores what each of your friends did. You play as them. Never have I gone around to actually playing it. And it's just upsetting because it's on the list in my head of like things I'd like to do eventually. Yeah. But it's been so long since I've played it. I'm like, well, my brain goes, well, wouldn't it be easier to replay the game? And I go,
me though. I
have 54 hours in this game, and 4 of it was in the last 4. Which that is how time works, I understand. But like, the last 6 hours.
Those last 4 hours took me 4 hours.
It was so sad.
Yeah.
It made me sad. But I've always wanted to like get around back to playing it. And like, maybe one day this year I will. But it pisses me off that they didn't even, I don't even know if I would call it phoning it in. It just... Man, they really just kind of said, okay, now we're going to do some shit, and there's no more fun stuff. There's no more festivals. You did your road trip. You did all of your road trip. And I'm like, well, it was very thorough.
Right.
Anyway, the car can fly if you beat the game.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the point of why I wanted to talk about this, because I'm like, where was I going with it? The car, a great character in Final Fantasy 15, to be clear.
Famously.
One of your favorites.
Famously.
It does get the ability, it gets the modification to fly, and it makes it slightly better. Because if you want to go anywhere, you do just kind of go, all right, set destination, and then you just let it, you just
let it roll ball.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice for like going to like bathroom breaks and stuff, I will say.
But when does it grow legs?
Ooh, well that's the swamp water DLC.
Spider car.
Get a little Baba Yaga. Just gets full human feet.
Yeah.
What? Ooh. Is there a girl feet DLC?
Could be.
Pay for Squeenix maybe.
Could be.
I pay.
They made nope. That was Nintendo.
What did they make?
The barefoot one, Fire Emblem.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they made Corrin barefoot, which was part of it, I guess.
Part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm really proud of Nintendo, actually, or Game Freak, I should say. I've been playing the Pokemon DLCs.
The Indigo Disc.
The Indigo Disc, and before that was the Teal Mask. Genuinely very good.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Sword and Shield had a DLC, like 2 DLCs that came out, Crown Tundra and the Isle of Armor. Yeah, Isle of Armor.
Yeah.
Something like that. They weren't really connected at all. They were 2 different adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, oh, you okay?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I know. Just,
no complaint.
Lap it up. Beat the roaches or something like that. No, that's old.
Because the ones that complain, I eliminate.
Where's the raid? You made me panic when you were like, hey, do you have time for a raid? And I'm like, I just went live, like thinking you meant Destiny. And you're like, oh, you're playing Destiny.
When
no worries.
could I have ever meant Destiny, though?
I did not even think about Pokemon.
Have I?
No, that's why I was so
"We should do
surprised.
Raid.
I was so surprised. Because I guess it's like, I never think about like, oh, doing a raid in Pokemon. Like,
Right.
I'm like, what's even out there? And then I saw who it was and I was like, you need him.
I already had him, but I didn't have that form. I didn't have Therian form or whatever.
Yeah. Was it Thundurus?
The little like bird one.
Yeah, they're stupid avian forms. I don't care about them.
Well, they all have different forms. I mean,
Yeah, of course. There's some reasons, I'm sure, the genies. But yeah, the DLC was really good. The first part, you do a whole little like, you go to like your summer vacation sort of thing, and you're one of like, oh hey, and there's kids from the Blueberry Academy, 2 of which go to this village, and it's like, oh wow, and like figuring out like the little like the 3 heroes, and like they're not really heroes. It's almost like there's been a lie, and the ogre's not the ogre. Very cute. Spoilers. Dun. And it's just a fun little time, except that there's a lie that happens, and we have to just stand by and let this lie happen because it's the linchpin of the rest of the DLCs, where they actually decide to continue the story that you had started in that in the second one. So of the Carmine and Kieran, the 2 kids that you meet, like Kieran ends up going from like being like, hey, like his innocence gets destroyed essentially in this first DLC.
We chopped down the tree to signal the end of the Age of Innocence.
Kind of, yeah. But instead we just like, hey, you know that thing you love? It chose us. And also we lied about it earlier.
Dab.
Mm-hmm. But then he overhears and it's like, oh no. The betrayal. And he's refusing to listen to reason. He's going to spiral. So then it says, to be continued. Pum, 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 pum. So I just go fly over back to the academy and go, all right, let's start the next DLC because I bought it this year.
Right.
I can just go to both. And you go to the other one where you go as a transfer student to the other school, which is like underwater, the Blueberry Academy. Okay. And everyone's doing BBQs. Mm-hmm. I saw that Coco was streaming. She's like, oh yeah, doing BBQs. And I'm like, what are these barbecues that everyone's doing?
Why is everyone barbecue?
Everyone's doing a new thing, like, because there's picnics where you can make sandwiches. You can make like shiny hunting sandwiches and stuff. And I'm like, so this must be an evolution of that.
Right.
What do you think BBQs are? I'll give you a hint. BB stands for Blueberry
Quest.
That is correct, actually. Good job. Yeah. They have this whole like underground like terrarium biome thing like they have in Tucson. It's basically that. but underwater. So they have like the different biomes and all that shit, and like they give you tasks to earn points to spend on other shit.
Can you catch Chansey?
Yeah, okay. I didn't.
Oh.
I already had Chansey, but I did try to catch a Chansey, and then I fought it for a bit, and I said I don't want to deal with this guys, and then I backed out of it. But
give me back my hat, Jordan.
Give me back my hat. Ooh. Yeah, the second one's all about battling and stuff. So you're doing like like fight the elite 4 of the top 4 students, and then you fight Kieran, who's become super obsessed with being strong because he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Because you're a liar.
Kinda, yeah.
Because you stole and you lied.
Pretty much, yes. And he's just a grumpy boy the whole time.
Well, you stole and lied.
Yeah, but I'm cute. So
but can I be held responsible for the results of my actions?
I don't think that an inability to act on your part constitutes defense of my actions on my part. I say committing crimes.
The only person who can control his reaction to my crime is him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
work.
Maybe he should have reacted better.
You fucking should have. Little bitch. So anyway, so the plan tonight is to finish it up because we end up going back down.
Yes. I don't know. The plan tonight.
The plan
just
tonight.
Sounded like
Hot Shelly Ray, tonight. A banger.
No, the only song I know is Danny California.
Oh, that's right. It's one song.
Hot Shelly, Red Chili Peppers, Yep.
Well, you know 2 songs. The Squid song.
No, not the Squid Chicken Ground. Not this. I can't.
I think about
not strong enough.
I am.
Not anymore. I can't face that song anymore.
It's all of the tadpoles I've eaten. So
well, there you go.
Yeah.
You are now the Squid Chicken Ground.
I will. God, I wish. Trample me.
But
yeah,
so many legs.
Oh, too many. But yeah, it's been fun. And then they came out with a little epilogue on the 11th.
Yeah.
So I received it. They put out a little trailer that was like 30 seconds, and it's like, there's the new Mega Pecha Berry. How fun. It's coming to a mystery gift available to you now. And it's not by choice. And then this was from Pokemon, like their official YouTube. I'm like, look at them getting haunted and cryptic. Ooh, girl. Ooh. And so I've seen a little bit of spoilies based on art and stuff from it, which I'm like, it still doesn't help me because I don't know what it is. But right. I'm like, this will be really fun. I'm excited to see this new mythical that we get. So that'll be cool. And finish off this point, because now I'm ready to be done with the Pokemon segment. I'm finishing off. I've had the most insane shiny luck since playing this DLC.
Work.
And to an obscene degree.
Okay.
Day 1, thank you, by the way. Day 1, running around. I think I may have already mentioned this, but we saw...
Cricketune?
Yeah, we saw the Cricketune, just randomly. I was like, oh, look, I need to catch a Cricketune, because I need a copy of everything, because I'm a completionist. And I was like, oh, and it looks a little dusty. I thought that to myself.
Right.
Didn't even faze me if it was shiny or not. Then it was.
One of the only shinies I've caught in Arceus. My first shiny in Arceus, and I was like,
it's cool.
Cricketune.
It's not a great Pokemon.
It's not great.
But it is I was
glad to have him.
Beep, 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 beep. Very fun. Very fun little orange guy. And it was, I was mentioning this to Katie last night. I was like, it really meant a lot to me. Like, it felt like I got 5 shinies in this game so far since I started playing it a week ago. And I didn't hunt for them. What?
My brain went back to a place. About a week ago. And I'm like, I just want to be. I want to be different in 2024.
Just be you.
I know, and I don't want me to include that.
Good.
I don't respond to that anymore.
You have officially distanced yourself with this.
It's been 5 years since 2019, and I'm ready.
Black Beatles in the city. That girl is a real round pizza. That is what I think whenever I'm like, we got to get the crew together, and I'm like, sound it. Yes. Sound the alarm. And then there's this action cut. You understand. Cinema.
Yeah.
Kristen. I wouldn't dab, but I don't like Kristen Cinema. She sucks. But that's not a real thing. That is my opinion of her.
You don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to assume.
Allegedly.
I'm not alleging.
Allegedly, she sucked a butt.
God. Yeah, so we caught that, which was cool because Katie was like when we had played Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, I had named a lot of people after Pokemon. So shit is there.
You mean bugged diamond and shipped early pearl?
Yeah, I was going to say shit pearl, but yeah.
I've just seen a thumbnail where someone put like bugged diamond and shipped early pearl, and I was like, shipped early pearl it's not giving what you think it's giving.
No, you should have said ship pearl. That would have been.
But they were scared because it was a thumbnail. Mm-hmm. But like, just do a little like asterisk.
If you're really confident in your work, you would let YouTube decide your thumbnail.
That'd be a real one.
If you're proud of the things that you make.
Yeah.
You wouldn't craft one.
So Katie.
BSP. So we caught Katie. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so just like one of those like, oh, like how nice. Then the second shiny we run into, not too long after, like maybe an hour later at most, 20 minutes later, I think, fucking find a shiny Vulpix. Woo! And I'm just like, oh, hey guys, which MCGM always reminds me of Vulpix for whatever reason.
It's probably the Ninetales.
Actually, it's the bangs. If I'm being honest, that's what it is. I knew the answer the whole time. Mm-hmm. I just didn't share it because it leads for inviting questions, and you understand. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a good grade in podcast today.
When have I ever asked a question?
Exactly. I leave room. It's more of like if you squint, it counts as a question because like you got an answer. But then I stream the next day. I stream on Friday, and we're playing whatever, just trying to like finish up shit and being like, well, I'm just trying to make it to like the Elite Four member, but there's so many Pokemon I haven't caught yet, so I got to go catch them. And then I go and catch them all, and I'm like, there's like a lack of Pokemon diversity in this DLC because I've already caught them all that I can see, and it's annoying. So crying for me. Get off stream, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a little bit more. Yeah, it is the cry face. And I end up finding 3 more shinies in a single fucking night in about 30 minutes.
Hell yeah.
No sandwiches, no powers.
Don't need them.
Nothing.
Don't fucking need them.
I see a little Cheeto puff. I see an Alolan Geodude.
Oh.
I need you to look up what these shiny Pokemon look like. Because
a shiny Alolan Geodude is orange.
Yeah. Do you want to know what a shiny Alolan Graveler looks like?
I used to know.
I described it in some pretty choice words when I evolved it last night. Or yesterday, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Alolan. Hello? Alolan.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, girl.
Graveler. Oh.
Are you telling me that doesn't look like a turd with corn in it? That is a turd with corn in it, and I don't even feel like I'm being silly about it. We should put one up so they can see the viewers at home.
That is unfortunate.
It is.
Here's an artist's interpretation of that.
That is a generous. It is absolutely that color. It is the brown marker from the Crayola box, and I just the level of disappointment that I had from going from orange to poop. That being said, that one also was kind of nice because I distinctly remember Coco and I years ago. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to reset my game." I forget which Pokemon game I was playing at the time. I was like, I'm just going to reset it and start over. Yeah. And like, I went ahead and like started a new game and saved it, like cleared the save file and like saved it real quick while I was thinking about it. Cause I'm like, fuck it. I just got to do it. And she goes, but wait, didn't you have a shiny Geodude? And I went, not anymore. So a little bit of like, oh, well, hey, like got to get that back in a different way, but it's a Alolan. Oh yeah. All the regional forms are in the terrarium, which is kind of nice. So you get a bunch, including Hisuian forms.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to know what my thought was when I saw a Cleavor? It was shock because I was like, oh, I didn't know he was here. But also, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm glad that we're getting, like, we got a lot of the Hisuian forms because, like, they're not just stuck in one game.
Game Freak doesn't care how I feel about it.
Game Frock.
So I have to be okay with it.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you're not.
Me being mad won't get me anything.
No, it actually might make it worse.
It might.
Sometimes you have to choose to be.
Maybe I should just love the Pokemon for what they are and not resent them for what they weren't.
Stats, shinies, of course.
Well, yeah,
they're all candy.
Sell.
Good.
Buy low, sell low. Just get rid of them.
Yeah, don't buy, sell.
Just remove.
Discreetly.
Grind. Discrete encounters for discerning
Why isn't there
Mudkip.
Discrete packaging Pokeball for when I don't want them to know what's in there? Can I get a black Pokeball that's in a brown bag? Actually, that would be kind of funny. A paper bag Pokeball. That would be good. But yeah, so that was kind of nice. And then the last two, real quick, I found. Yeah, I won't forget.
They haven't made, and maybe I'm wrong, but they haven't made a ghost shell in Destiny that was like a haha like allusion to Pokeball, have they? Because that seems like something they would have done.
I don't think so.
I know. They fear the copyright.
Maybe. I'm thinking of like there's one like glitter shell that kind of, you know what I'm talking about? It's from season 2. It's from when we could remember what was
machine.
In the Eververse.
Right.
Yeah. On the Wayback Machine.
I signed into Destiny2.com on the Wayback Machine.
Wait, you're not playing 2007 Destiny? I played on the browser.
OSD2.
Could you imagine a point and click Destiny? I'm leveling up gun. I'm leveling up my hunter skill.
Hunter!
No, not that I'm aware of.
I will never forgive them for naming it Hunter and not hunting. All the other skills all the other skills are a verb. It's fine. I haven't held on to that since 2007.
Herblore?
I'm fine.
Is herblore a verb?
I think so. I've decided.
I'm your little herblore or.
I've decided it's a verb.
Okay. It's a verb for the sake of your argument.
They didn't have enough letters to make it herbloring.
It makes it sound herbloring. Hunter.
A wind tunnel.
Oh.
Hunter.
Tunnel. My God, I forgot about that. The secret tunnel.
What about it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know enough about the story, but did you not hear about this in the news?
I don't think so.
In New York, there was apparently they found a bunch of people digging a tunnel underneath New York from like it was in like I believe it was in like the Hasidic Jew district.
Okay.
And like there's like video and stuff too of them like finding men in these tunnels, and it, like there was a guy who tweeted that there was like he's like I keep hearing Jewish people underneath my like in my house or something, which is like absolutely an insane thing to like tweet out.
Right.
And it also to point out the guy also sucks ass, so it's not a fun
right,
that's not a fun fact. But then like no, there really was. They've been digging.
He was hearing Hebrew and
he was like hearing Hebrew and Yiddish. I'm assuming like from underneath his house,
right
in New York, which would blow his mind. And then people would dig in a tunnel.
From where to where?
I don't know how accurate the information that I know is, because like I don't want to misreport on anything. So like this is all just from like what I understand from what I remember. Allegedly, but it was from like one of the main buildings, and it led to apparently like a building that could be used that was like a woman's part of the building or something, and it starts to get a bit muddier from there. We're not really I don't know about all that. I get nervous talking about like current events that are still developing because I'm not good at remembering all the details. But I do distinctly remember that, and I remember thinking, "There's no way that's real." And then you watch we were digging tunnels by hand.
I mean,
in this, it's just the fact that it's happening in 20. I don't know that's happening. Just what the like everyone's doing shit lately.
You can just dig a tunnel.
What are they? What's New York going to do? Yeah. That's basically it.
Well, you can dig a tunnel on your property once you go under someone else's.
But how far does their property go?
Into the core of the earth.
Man. Okay. That's what I thought. Sounds like you would assume that. I mean, that's a good philosophical question. Mm-hmm. A sabalitical.
Mm-hmm.
So, a syllabatical.
If you will.
I will.
And even when you won't.
I won't. Anyway. Enough about the secret tunnel, but about the remaining 2 Pokemon. I lost my fucking mind as I'm just flying around Shiny Scraggy. Which was such a delight.
Your boy.
My boy. I hadn't seen one in Pokemon Go, and just earlier that day, I was like, ooh. Like, once we finish, I'm like, that might be a fun hunt to do. A fun shiny hunt is, like, finding a Scraggy, because, like, he's my guy. Well, I find him. Great. Perfect. Evolve it. Pants Lizard. Great. Classic. Feels good. 10 minutes later, still running around just trying to like finish up 1 or 2 things. I see another one.
Another Scraggy?
Another Scraggy.
Oh.
So now I got the Scraggy and the Scrafty. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, there's all my dreams. I got everything I wanted, and now it's Monday.
Sometimes
what do we do?
It do be like that sometimes.
Right?
When like you get the thing and then you're like,
fuck, like that was like the next, that was going to be my, like, it's like when you have like, you had an idea for a video.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, great. Well, this will be good. And then it turns out that like something comes up and you're like, oh, well, I can like use that video and like it'll save me some time. Cool. You're like, yay, I got to use my backup video. And it's like, well, now it's Monday and you don't have a backup video anymore. And you're like, oh, the pressure of no backup video is now going to linger for 2 months until you make one. Mm-hmm. As one does.
That's predicated on the concept that I have a backup video and I've never have though.
Well,
I always wanted one. I have backup ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had an actual backup video like pre-made, ready to drop.
No,
I've never been so smart.
Well, that's just because it feels like if you're gonna make the video, just post it.
Right.
Like you just make it. If you're gonna make content, then do it.
Yeah.
Me, which apparently I do.
Sell whole pics on Nebula.
No longer affiliated with Curiosity Stream.
If you're curious about my stream.
Speaking of, you can check me out on Nebula in this Nebula exclusive Gazing into the Abyss.
It will look back.
Mm-hmm. A little
and wink.
Yeah.
I hate that.
What about an eye sneeze, which is just a fart? Bueno.
Kinder.
Yeah. Garden. Oshkosh. Green Bay. Something.
Yeah.
One or quite possibly
more.
Oh, I was gonna say the other. That works. I don't like how much rapping, like,
that they're doing on the radio lately.
I watch too much content, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because I was watching a video about a rapper yesterday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did the hurt begin?
When I clicked on the video.
That part.
And then I went, oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. People shouldn't put their kids in music videos and have them rap the lyrics that they're also doing.
Oh yeah, I don't like that.
You ever do a sequel to your song and then throw your kid on the track?
Ew. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you wouldn't like what it was about then either.
Whole pics. Scrafty.
I wish. That would have been much better. No, just, classic little bits of, we've been really needing sarcasm, some more transphobic representation in media lately.
Loved it.
So conservative Christian rapper. Mm-hmm. I forget the dude's name because I don't care. It was a Ryan Beard video. They had posted it, but they were going over all of it. But it's just, I'm just sitting here going, you're really having your kids do this and say shit like, holding guns, being like, I can't wait. Like, there's only, just, hey, like, let boys be boys and let girls be girls. It's like, yeah,
mm-hmm.
Really? Do you know what that means? Do you know what let means? I don't want to say it's because they were white boys, but good Christian white boys.
Well,
but it sounds to me.
Maybe they should be focusing more on how many folding chairs they can pick up and less about how many other people's lives they can harm.
That is correct.
Like, just work on
We're supposed to carry.
Just work on your gains, bro.
All gains, no drains, baby. That's the secret. That's the ticket. I'm not even actually mad because it's like, I don't have any, the opinion's obvious. It's trash. But it was just like bizarre.
Yeah.
And just one of those where you're like, oh yeah. And like anytime I see anything my mom posts on Facebook.
Yeah. Because
I still check on her. What can I say? I'm hurt. I don't know if that was the right word to use, but because I could have used something funnier.
Right.
We're backstage right now.
Right.
We're taking a, yeah.
Can I see you back here?
Can I see you behind the
Can I see you back here?
Yeah. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, it's me. Hey, can I steal him for a sec?
Can I grab him for a sec?
Oh, please.
I love this.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
I don't remember where I was going. You got?
I don't have anything, but
Good. So then we're on the same page.
Yesterday.
Oh.
That was a day ago.
I've heard of it. Unde?
Yesterday.
Unde say?
Yesterday evening, after a long day of physical laborious activities, I decided that I wanted to unwind with a non-physically laborious activity.
Like YouTube Rewind.
It's rewind time. So, I said, you know what I haven't played in a long time?
Ouija Mansion.
Any of the games that I have bought new and never played? Sure, but no, I didn't do any of that. I booted
Monopoly
up.
Go.
I booted up the Master Shift collection, and I was like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do. I just wanted to play some Halo. So I bit-bopped on over to the cross-game playlist segment.
Okay.
Where it does like various themed playlists so you'll get a little you know
the rule sets are a little bit different based on which game you're playing.
Right. Well, you get like a little whisper, a little sniff of multiple.
Oh.
You know, you sort of drag your nose along the charcuterie board. And you just
like a good little submissive.
Yeah, and you just see what's going on. So
I'm out here snorting up that shark coochie board.
Yeah, and so I did one that was like final levels. So it was like the last level of each game.
Oh, okay.
Of 1, 2, 3, 4.
In Reach, maybe.
They actually skipped Reach because this was from before Reach was added, I think.
Oh, okay. ODST?
It was also before ODST was added. But I got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was like, oh, that was fun.
The first mission, the last mission, and it gives you an idea of what the game was about.
What the game is going to be. And I did one where it was like flying.
Okay, flying. That was the name.
Part of it.
Okay.
They're like, all these missions are flying missions. Well, Halo famously does not have many flying missions.
What about in Halo 2 when you drive the Scorpion tank across the bridge? Because time flies by when you're waiting for that slow-ass fucking thing to go.
That part.
We gotta get air horns.
That was quick. We got them pretty quick.
I'm glad I... It was right on. I orbital requisition.
Requiem.
Isn't that your character, Requiem?
Don't you have
I don't
one?
have a character named Requiem.
Who's the guy in the Soul River? Isn't that Requiem?
Brachium.
I hardly know him.
Oh.
I must have amnesia because they forgot that I'm Brachium. Is that like Bracas? Isn't that like a fruit chew? Bratches?
He's named after the constellation.
Not the fruit juice.
Yeah.
Is that Welch?
Star. It's a star, I believe.
Ah.
Within a constellation.
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeias.
Cassiopeia.
When you put your watch on your wiener, you got that Cassiopeia.
When I dropped my watch in the toilet after I did pee-pee.
I have to pee. We're going to finish your story. I'm going to pee, and then I got to tell you what ended up happening after the live stream last week when I dropped my phone in the toilet and the adventure that went on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying.
There's not much more to it. But, like, Halo doesn't have many flying levels.
They don't.
So instead it was like, here's a very odd selection of 2 games from Halo 4 and 2 levels from Halo 4 and 2 levels from Reach, neither of which involve fully flying because Halo doesn't do that, which is fine.
No,
it just has segments that have that. So it was like, you're in Reach. The one weird part where you're in a spaceship. It's the only time they've ever done it in Halo. And it was fun. It's not bad. And so it was like, okay. But then the rest of the level, you're just fighting within a ship on the ground. You're just do.
It's like, I feel like they could have done more. Like, isn't there distinctly a part? Like, I think what it should be is like, isn't there a part in Halo 3 where like it's a very long section. It reminds me kind of like a Blood Gulch where it's like snowy and you're in between the mountains fighting your way through everything. And it's possible to like get and keep like you get an achievement if you bring like ghosts or banshees throughout the whole thing or whatever. Like, why wouldn't they make like one of those missions that where like maybe it's a special scenario where like, ooh, when you're in the playlist, like it kind of starts you and has those spawn in. So it is like a special version where the idea is to, you know, like, why not just make a fun version of those levels? Like, as opposed to like, why do they always have to be a challenge as opposed to like, you can just have a fun challenge where you just get a free banshee and then can blow shit up.
Yeah, because instead what it ended up being was like the very first level was like you start in space in a ship and then you're just fighting on the ground in the ship. And then the second level was a later level in Halo Reach where you're then flying a falcon from building to building. And then when you get out, you fight on the ground and you get back in it and fly to the next building. And then it goes to Halo 4.
Peregrine.
Where in Halo 4, it's like fly a pelican to these couple towers and then fly it to the next one. So it's very much like that Halo Reach level, but now you're in a pelican.
Okay. So
and
basically two of the more or less kind of identical like flow levels.
Yes. And then the final level was not unlike the first level, which was from Halo Reach, where you're like in a spaceship and then you land and then you like just fight your way through.
And you don't go back on the spaceship.
Nope. It did the final level of Halo 4 where you have a very brief beginning part where you're flying a spaceship and then you're just fighting through a normal level.
Were they really grasping at straws?
I really think they were. They were like, well, we did like a tank-themed one. We did a warthog-themed one.
I wonder if they don't want to reuse levels either.
We like can fly, but they still did reuse some of them. So like
which I don't think is a problem.
It's not a problem. There's only so many levels to choose from. But my only begrudgment was that I was like, this is an odd, like there are other level, like they could have done like the level, the Covenant from Halo 3. It has a flying section that is just as long as any of those.
Yeah. Or like, why couldn't it have been like, you only play for like those couple of checkpoints and it's just like, and then like, it just like, once you get to the next checkpoint, it goes like, ooh, loading up next level.
And instead
probably because they didn't want to code it.
Probably. And instead I was forced for 2 cross-game playlists in a row to end my journey with the final level of Halo 4, which was A, not very fun, and B, made me sad.
Because it's the death of Cortana.
Because Cortana's dying, and it makes me really sad. And then, I have more things to say.
Yeah.
And then I was recommended a video because, like, our overlords listen at all times when he's playing Halo again. So then they started recommending Halo videos to me.
I feel so relaxed right now. Thank you.
And so then it was like, all of the cut voice lines from Halo 4. And I was like, I didn't know they cut voice lines from Halo 4. Let me give it a listen. And I listened, and many of them, I would hazard to say most of them, are like conversations had between Cortana and Master Chief. And I can understand why they didn't include them, because like, for people who like don't want like all the talkie, they're like, I want Master Chief to just shoot, and I want Cortana to just give the funny sarcastic line. Like,
why can't she be hot?
Like, why can't she talk?
Yeah.
Like, let her speak. It's just another example of silencing women.
Goddamn right.
And I just want to hear Cortana talk, because first of all, Jen Taylor is a great voice actress, and also Cortana is a compelling character that I care about a lot.
She's really interesting. Like,
then when they kill her, like, it was impactful and meaningful, and I don't like They managed to pull it off well enough that I was like, I get why she died, and I'm okay with it, even though, like, God, that hurt, and I did cry.
Well, it's because 343 had to separate.
Well, they had to. Well, 343 initially tried to recast Cortana and Master Chief because they didn't want to have anything tying them to the old games. And then people played the beta and went, we're not going to buy this if you don't get Jen Taylor and Steve Downes back, so they did. But, so, like, the cut...
I wish him well.
So the cut lines, though, they're so sad because
Really?
it gives like a even more like sort of like detailed like look into like Cortana like coming apart, and like it's just really fucking sad. And you can like hear like, and like Stephen Downes is he's a very talented voice actor insofar as like what the Chief is supposed to be, what he has always been is that you know he's just like he's supposed to be like almost robotic and everything. Like one of the great ironies of Halo is that like Cortana is so human and Master Chief is so robotic.
Sorry, Master Chief.
Thank you.
Sorry, I've been on Paramount Plus lately.
Put some respect on it. Until you've been in that suit with him, you can't call him John.
Unless unless the suit has jerked you off.
That part.
You're not allowed to criticize. Of course.
And so like, but Stephen Downes actually like really like, you know, brought it on some of these lines, and like you hear like the desperation of like they like
he knows
partway through like the grand like the final level midnight. You sort of get that like they both know like they're not coming back from this. And like there are still these like glimpse moments where like they have like just like tiny little like of their old school banter where like Cortana's like keeping it together like just enough that she like still does like a little quip, and he's like he tries to like volley with it. But like it's really like it's just really emotional and sad. And there's this part in the level before that where like Cortana starts like really like coming apart, and she starts like basically like completely being overwhelmed by like the other like
defragging and stuff.
Yeah, by like the other parts of her personality. And like she's like, if you like put me in the system, I can like bring like these turrets online, and we'll be and like, you know, I can help or whatever. And so then Chief kind of he literally ends up saying I can't remember how exactly he phrased it, but he's like, can you like do this? And then she like has this like Splinter like breakdown moment where she's like, he doesn't trust us anymore, like he can't even trust me,
like she's getting like psychosis almost.
Yeah. And so like you hear like all like the different parts of her personality like fighting over the fact that like he doesn't like think she can do it anymore. And so then she just says like, I can still help, like please let me help. And it's like it's so,
because like he's not saying it like
right,
like he's like no I don't think he was questioning her ability. I think it was one of those moments where it's like, no, like don't tell me you can and you can't.
Right.
Like, because like I'd rather have this moment with you.
Well, it's like lives are literally like at stake. And it's like, if that's not going to work, then like we have to do something else. You know, like he's literally like balancing, trying to like, you know, keep her together and keep all these people alive and everything. And then he's like, and then it's just like, it's just really fucking sad. And he's like, no, I do trust you and everything. And then it's really sad. And I think Halo 4 is like a really good narrative. I don't enjoy playing Halo 4. I don't think it's a very good game.
I was going to say personally, from what I remember, because it has like the Forerunner guns, which look like they'd be better, but they never feel
They're
better.
Not.
And I remember there's the Didact, I think.
Yeah.
He's annoying.
He also is much more fleshed out in the cut content lines. I still don't think I would like really enjoy him as a villain. But his motivations make a little more sense.
He seems like a villainous villain.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to describe it because I don't remember much from it. But
he comes off very flat in the final product. Whereas like you get a little more of like the nuance of him, and you like get to see him more as like a little bit more of a person. You get to see like he holds like respect for Chief and Cortana, and he's like, I don't necessarily like want to like kill you all. He's like, but like if you survive, like the flood is gonna happen. Like we can't like this can't keep happening.
There's some larger forces at work. Like
yeah,
we either like we can't keep kicking the butt, like passing the buck.
Right. Like he still comes off as like a very like
genocidal maniac,
self-centered. Like he's decided this is the only way that this like
and like and what gives him the right to decide the fate of the universe.
Exactly. And he's like decided this is the only way to do it. But you get a little better idea of why he thinks that. And yeah, it's just a little more interesting. And then like just like the stuff between like Chief and Cortana, because like I think I know some people didn't like that. They're like, I came here for a fighting game. I understand that. Good for you. Yeah, you have Halos 1 through 3.
Those are great games.
They're great games. Halo 4, I liked that like you actually got to explore that like concept between the two of them a little bit more, and like in the cut lines you get to see even more of that. So I was like, oh, that's nice. But yeah, the gameplay, I don't enjoy it. I really don't. So like when I do play Halo 4, it's like literally just for that, is for the story. And like the story's not perfect by any means. Like there's other parts of it that I think are kind of mishandled, but I think the relationship between Chief and Cortana is really good in Halo 4. And then when I heard all those cut lines, I was like, I'm gonna start crying again.
Oh, I hate that.
I was like, this is like fucking me up. Yeah,
but that's good. It's like it's a very. I guess I don't want to say the word cathartic because I don't feel like it's like an inverse of catharsis where it's like no, this is like a nice like this is really good, and it just is also like it's so nice it makes me sad because it's like
it was just, it's well written, it's well acted. Like the part where Cortana like thinks like, you know, where she literally is just like, I just want to like, I can help, I can, and everything. And then like, I cried a little bit because I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's so sad because like, I know she's going to die.
I hope she doesn't.
And then like,
well, she does die.
She does die. And I wish she had stayed dead, which is weird to say because I love Cortana.
Did they bring her back in Halo 5?
Yes.
I forgot that Halo 5 existed. Oh my God.
Yeah. And she's now like a super villain. And it's really stupid.
I have to pee, but I because I've been holding it, but I gotta say, I really did forget that Halo 5 existed until this very moment.
Yeah.
I remember I lived back in Tempe at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when that had come out, and then you and Brandon were like talking about, because it's like, isn't it like John versus Locke? Which, like, first of all, Lost was great and finished years ago.
That was what they billed that it was going to be. It was going to be like John versus Locke, and then it wasn't. And then instead, suddenly Cortana was back, and she was a supervillain. And it was just, like, really weirdly handled. But the only thing I will say is that, like, as much as I hate that and I wish they had just let her stay dead, in the cut lines, they actually give a lot more perspective on Cortana and, like, her feelings in that moment that do, in their own way, retroactively help explain why she would have turned into a villain had she been, like, brought back to life under the means that she was. So I just feel like on a lot of fronts, they, like, lost a lot by cutting those lines. Not all of them. Some of them totally fine to go. Like, some of them were, you know, clunky. Some of them were, it was just, like, too much telling, not showing. But, yeah, I think it definitely could have benefited from, like, a lot of those lines coming back, or not coming back, from never having been cut. So I'm just really glad I found that video. But, yeah, it got me all sad again. And then it got me sad because then I started thinking about Halo 5 and how much I absolutely hated that game. And how I think its plot was really, really bad and really mishandled. And that sucks. So yeah. How y'all doing? Have you ever been so the dream, but that you could do anything? Huh?
I forgot how loud the bathroom was.
It wasn't loud from in here.
It wasn't?
No.
Then there's no need to worry. We'll
Nothing
cut that.
to apologize. We'll cut that last bit.
Actually, no. The biggest thing is the fact that, I recall talking to a few other people who have done, like, podcasts in particular that were, like, you know, inspired by our podcast, which is really great because I'm like, why? Like, functionally speaking.
What about this is inspirational?
Correct. Well, I think it's just the fact that, you know, two friends can go and keep doing. I mean, we have been doing this for a few years now, which is pretty cool. Mid, but cool.
Yeah.
But who was it? I think there were people that I was talking to that I was like, oh, honestly, like, we don't edit.
No.
And they're like, wait, what? What do you mean you don't edit? I'm like, I mean, we talk about it all the time, but, like, to be honest,
we absolutely have to. We do not.
Yeah. At first it was because we would dox ourselves more or less, or like, you know, you kind of start to, like, fine tune what you need to do or should or shouldn't say. And then even then, the only times that we've ever really had to edit since we kind of decided not to, because it works, is if like something gets said that's like,
right, if we say something that's, yeah, because
then it sucks, because then we have to wait and render it.
Yes, we have to find the problem. We have to then re-render the
You just lower your bar, baby girl.
Just keep lowering that bar.
Sometimes in those awkward moments where we don't know how to, there's not enough time for, like, another planned bit, but it's too early to hop into another segment, and we just go bip bop. Those are some of the best moments. When there's silence, it speaks volumes.
Silence is golden, golden.
Golden. Gold teeth, gold teeth, gold teeth, gold teeth, gold teeth. Mm-hmm.
You understand.
I do. That's annoying, though, with Master Chief and Cortana, because, like, she was a very compelling character. And I did feel like Cortana is used kind of like in lieu of Chief. Like a lot of what you find out about Master Chief is told to you through Cortana's conversations with him. Like she's telling him, like reminding him of stuff because she's also like in his head more or less. But like when he does respond, and I believe he gets more responsive as the series goes on a little bit. He's not like, is it Halo 1? Was he super silent or no?
In Halo's,
because I know it used to be like that in games where like they were really big on the silent protag.
He spoke even in Halo 1, only in cutscenes and sparingly, and then he spoke a little bit more in Halo 2 and a little bit more than that in Halo 3, but also in all of those cases still just mostly in cutscenes. In Halo 4, they made it so they would have some conversations during gameplay, which some people got mad about. I enjoyed, but
I mean, any is better. Is Halo Infinite fun? Like, is that worth playing?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Because I think if I were to play it, I'd have to download it on my Xbox, not on PC, because I don't have PC Game Pass.
Okay.
I think something like that. Okay. Did you play it on PC or on your Xbox?
I played it on PC.
And you liked
it? But with an Xbox controller. I enjoyed it very much.
The controller, absolutely.
I enjoyed it very much. I didn't love every single aspect of the plot, but I thought it was pretty good. It's pretty good. In the moment playing it, I enjoyed it a lot.
Which I think that's a good enough reason.
Whereas compared to say Halo 4, I like that story. I like the narrative that was told, but I was miserable the entire time.
If someone said, "Would you like to play Halo 4 for a bit or watch a 2-hour video about Halo 4?" Would it be watch
the video?
Yeah, and then do something else while you were doing it.
Yes.
Like God intended.
Yes. But I also have the at times unpopular opinion, online at least, that I don't really like Halo 3's campaign. Not in terms of the story. I think it's a good story. I don't enjoy playing the Halo 3 campaign very much. Its multiplayer was iconic. It was a huge part of my life. But its campaign is okay. Everything feels kind of slow and meandering. And I don't really like it. There are a handful of set pieces and moments and levels that I enjoy, but so much of it I just find myself going, oh god, I forgot there's more of this.
Well, do you remember when we did the Gauntlet a few years ago?
I do remember the Gauntlet.
That was that was a lot of fun.
I had a great time.
I remember a few things from that stream. Side note, I was talking to Tyler the other day and I was like, do I remember a lot of stuff? And she goes, because I'm because I know I don't. I do.
Depends on the stuff.
Well, it depends. And then she used a different word. She was like, you recall a lot. And I'm like, that is a good point. I do tend to recall a lot of things because I think there's a difference. And I was like, do I recall things more than other people, And she went, yes, very quickly. And I went, okay, thank you. That answers my next two questions that I would have slowly led up to like a pansy. So thank you. I forget the reason for this though. Oh, with the Halo, I always thought that Halo was really cool. I loved the concept. I just hated the gun. It's not hate. I do not find it very satisfying because it never feels like you're allowed to be powerful in it, if that makes sense. I don't, and maybe that could also be a unique experience to me because I tend to play with you or with Brandon or with Josh, where you guys have played Halo, you guys know the right gun combos to use, and I'm sure some weapons are better against other enemies. Using plasma for shields, and then once they're at health, you use real bullets and whatnot. But it's a lot of little shit, and it just always kind of felt like everything takes a clip to kill and whatnot. I mean, generally speaking, and some of it is being bad at game. That's also part of it. But in particular with Halo 1, 2, and 3, this is the same company that made Destiny.
Yes.
Granted, Destiny above and beyond, so it's tough to compare it to what the company did before when they hadn't made the best yet. But it's fun, but it doesn't really feel like I guess maybe that's what it is. There's that tact. We've talked about it before, where there's like that haptic or tactile feedback that comes with using anything in like Destiny sandbox that makes it so that like the sounds of the guns and the feeling of the guns, like in the way the rumble works and the controller really adds to it. And it just always kind of felt like I felt like Halo was always like a little too slow for me. Like it's just a little bit like, oh, you died, you gotta wait, and it's like a little bit too long that you gotta wait, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna like throw grenades, and it's like, I have no idea the concept of how far you can actually throw a grenade in that game because it makes no goddamn sense. Sometimes you could throw it for fucking 50 years, and then sometimes you miss what's right in front of you, and you just go, well, what was the point?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know, man. But
yeah,
it is fun.
I love Halo. It is
Stories are
so much of a trip, though, to go back and play the older ones because it is just like such a wildly different game than like games now, which like
they don't make games like they used to.
Which like of course it is, but like, and like
I just like how less woke they were back in the day.
That part, like I find myself always thinking that like if I pull left trigger, I'm gonna like bring the gun up, and that's not a thing.
What is left? Is that grenade?
Yes.
Because left bumper is... I'm trying to think on like the default. Oh, I think left bumper swaps your grenades.
No, left bumper's flashlight. The D-pad swaps your grenades.
I hate... Like... Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. We ball.
It's your armor abilities in the later games.
That is,
specifically Halo 4.
I'm not somebody who's gonna bitch about it.
And Reach.
They added more stuff to it. I think it was cool when they added clambering. Right. That's what it's called, clamber, which is like climbing, but gamered.
Game clamber. Game climb.
Game climb.
Enhanced movement.
Yeah, but then there's like, okay, well now there's like armor abilities, and it's like, why would you use armor lock in PvP? Well, I mean, I guess like because it would be good. You
survive.
Yeah, and I'm like, unless they just stop shooting you and wait for you to get out of armor lock.
I don't get
PvP.
I did not enjoy armor abilities at all. I never have. I never will.
You don't need them if you play the only game mode. BR SWAT.
Of
SWAT
course,
BR.
SWAT.
That I will say, SWAT is fun.
Yeah.
And probably because it's like Call of Duty hardcore, where it's like you either
shot in the head, dead, done,
easy,
done. Yeah. Yeah. I never liked armor abilities. I like sprint, but my favorite version of sprint is sprint as it was employed in Halo Infinite, where it's almost exclusively it makes you feel like you're going faster, but you're actually not. Sprint in Halo Infinite, like if you like I watched this whole video that actually like breaks down how sprint in it works, and like it very like it very cleanly like produces the effect in your rat brain that you're going fast,
like you can make it do
because of motion blur and whoosh, but you're actually only going like a fraction faster than normal. So like because of that helps with like level design and stuff, because you don't have to try to design levels to like be able to account for going fast and going slow, and you don't have to like account for like distances and like things like that. Like you can build because that's what they ran into.
Because they kind of like they pull the FOV a little bit, because it's like, oh fuck, I'm running, and it's like you get that little bit of tunnel vision,
right? And so like
it's more close and near miss moments.
It feels like sprint, like your brain likes it.
At work, there wasn't a good time.
But it doesn't impact gameplay, because what Halo 5 ran into in particular was that because of sprint, because of like the ground pound, because of the enhanced movement stuff, it very drastically impacted the way that they had to construct levels and maps, because you had to make them so much bigger
to accommodate for people that wanted to do that.
Right, who could like move. Like if you put a Halo 5 person in a Halo 3, even just a Halo 3 map, just like, 2 games prior. Well, it's more games than that, but you know what I mean. In numbers, it's just 2 numbers.
It's 2 less.
2 numbers.
If you just subtract a Halo 2 from Halo 5, you're left with Halo 3.
You're left with Halo 3.
That's Halo arithmetic.
Baby.
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 Fuck no, baby.
you can run way too fast, and so like the level like doesn't work. So then like when people like, and people in Forge ran into this, where like they would try to like recreate like, because like one of like the big things of like Forge in every game is people trying to make like faithful recreations of previous games and maps, but in the new system with the new design, everything, like to make their own like spiritual successors to maps and everything. Like I used to do it. It's fun to do.
Yeah, your maps were very fun.
Oh, thank you.
Well, there was the one in particular, the cabin, your magnum opus of sorts, but the other couple of maps that you had made in the past too were fun.
Yeah,
And the Forge maps can be very fun.
they can be very fun. But what they were running into was that like if you were to like 1-to-1 scale, like, you know, if you made Blood Gulch 1-to-1 size in Halo 5, it'd be a disaster because you can get across the map way too fast. You can jump over everything because like the enhanced movement made it so that like everything has to be bigger because you can run so fast, you can jump so far, you can do so much.
Yeah,
so it's like
they'd run out of game.
Right. And so you end up with these really like weirdly like cavernous spaces that then because of the limits of games, you can't fill those spaces.
Large, empty spaces.
Right. And
there's only one map. There's 2 maps in Halo 5. One's in a forest, one's in a city. That's it. That's all I remember.
That's what it feels like.
And I'm sure there's differences, but not really.
Not much.
Oh, one's at night, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah. So I think Halo Infinite handled it very well in terms of like sprint feels good, but it doesn't impact level design. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the ticket.
That's a get punched. I agree. Yeah. I know you had told me about the sprint before, but I'm like, I like this story regardless. And it's a new way. It's a new take on a classic flavor.
Indeed. Mm-hmm. Do yourself a favor with Hot 990 flavor.
With what? With Hot 99 flavor?
Hot 990 flavor. I think that's a...
Is that a radio show?
I think it's a radio show. I got that line from a video from a British YouTuber.
Oh, work?
So
bloody good.
For all I know, that could be like a really bad like British radio network. I don't know.
I'm just here. I'm American.
I'm just American.
Oopsie.
So nothing's
Sorry,
my
I'm
fault.
just a dumb American. I didn't know.
Oh.
I just yell in public. Tee-hee.
Yeah.
Tee-hee for funsies. I had something. Oh yeah. So I had an interesting little bit of a moment of sorts that filled me with I had a lot of feelings in a single moment, which then turned into just a tear.
Okay.
And then I was like happy overall. Okay. But I was outside on the phone. As I do. Talking to a friend I hadn't talked to in a hot minute, who also made a point to point out that both she and her mom had seen my pictures on Instagram recently and was just like, and we were like, yeah, we were just like losing it in the car, like, she's so pretty. And I'm just like, I'm going to store this for later. I'm going to fully process this compliment later in private. And I did. It was nice. But while I was doing that, I looked through my patio and I look onto my fridge. Mm-hmm. And I kind of realized that over time I had like moved stuff around on my fridge because it's currently still covered in almost a year old like posts from the self-fitness board on my channel. Mm-hmm. As like a little motivation thing I had done back in like June last year. Mm-hmm. And I guess at some point I must have felt dysphoric and I like removed a lot of the pictures that had like me on it. Mm-hmm. But at the time I wasn't fully sure where the dysphoria was coming from because like, well, I was just a lot thicker then too. Mm-hmm. Like it's a little bit of a double whammy. I did it all at once.
Right.
So in particular, I had seen some fan art that I forget who painted it, and I feel real bad. I should have made a note mentally who had done it. But I've had it on the fridge forever. Where it's I don't know. I don't think I wasn't as the Joker in this, but my hair was green and slicked back. So it was like that's that time,
right?
And like the two of us, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like. I'm not that girl anymore.
Right.
And not
the Joker anymore.
I'm not the Joker anymore, baby.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I always am. I always could be the Joker. Right. That's the best joke. It was thinking that I'd stick around. Bam. But it was one of those like really sweet, like I experienced a lot of those little moments that don't really tend to be depressing actually. I guess maybe they did at first because it's like, oh God, I feel so bad. Like, how am I ever going to do whatever? Mm-hmm. But it was more of just kind of like, wow, like, God, I've really been doing this a little bit. I looked at myself in the mirror. I may have mentioned this before, and like I remember looking in the mirror sometime over the summer, after July, August, something like that, and being like, I don't know if I can get away with it. I don't know if I could do it, but like I can try. And I didn't like really believe myself and didn't think I'd just keep doing it. And now we're here, and I'm like, cool, great, fun. These tights are slightly ripped. I'm not happy about that.
Saw the tight.
Yeah.
I don't remember what queen
Saw
says
the
that.
tight. Say goodnight.
No, one
Wrapped you
of
up.
the queen says like, I saw the tights and they were ripped. And I can't remember who said it.
God, what a mean thing to say.
Well,
I mean,
the
it's
tights
a
were
stu-
ripped though.
Well, yeah, like I'd want to know if my tights were ripped, but the big thing is like I just am so self-conscious of things. But it was a really nice bittersweet moment. I was like, oh, I'm like, but then I was like, I miss the hype, and I'm like, what do you mean you miss the hype? We do the podcast like almost, and I said it verbally with an asterisk. You know,
Right.
You know how we do.
I know.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's a tone.
Said with a squint.
Like we do the podcast every week.
Every week.
We do the podcast semi-frequently.
We do the podcast every time we post.
There's an occurrence
Yeah.
at regular expectations of occurrences.
Delivery.
Of frequency. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was very nice. And it kind of like, it went into the same, not like issue, but like the realization that I've slowly been having to accept because should I make a decision right now in this moment while I have all the information that I'm aware of? I could, or I could be thorough and just do a little real quick double check for a few months and not, get anywhere and then just end up back right where I was. That's called confidence and double checking and anxiety. But it was just really cool. It was really cool to see that. And I'm like, well, I guess like it'll just take a bit more time. But like, we're just gonna have to keep posting some more content until like some of that stuff, like there's like it is a bit of like a weird new era, new chapter sort of thing that is just incredibly awkward to talk about because like, I don't know. It just is. It's not like weird, not negative. Me saying that to you, fictionalize the version, not even of you in my head, but just I'm like, wait, are you hitting all those little points? There's no PowerPoint in my head. I'm lying.
Right.
But now there is in order to describe it. And then now it's gone. Goodbye. Thoughts, comments, no concerns. I got too caught up in that transition bit. It was good. Yeah, it was the same thing I'm dealing with on my stream where I was talking about it over the weekend with Katie. And I was just like, yeah, I'm like, so part of it is that like, all of the content is like of old me. So it's like, I played my Raid trailer and I'm just like, whose channel is this promoting? I'm like, I don't know him. Well, I do. That was him. And I was very funny most of the time. But then also, I'm like a lot cuter now. And you can see it in my eyes. It also helps that I lost like 50 pounds. That kind of helped for my self-confidence, I will admit.
Okay.
So I didn't have a point to this other than just like, it was that little bit of a bittersweet moment. And I'm like, and like you do look different too. Not as much, not as drastic.
Right.
But in the eyes, the way they painted your eyes compared to how I see them now. Beady, filled with lust and anger.
Right. The hatred that was boiling in me.
Oh, God.
If only I could reclaim it.
Lost, yet not forgotten.
How do I get so angry and upset again?
Oh, no. How do I channel that pure rage? I don't know what you were mad about at the time.
I really wasn't. I don't often linger in anger. Of the many emotions that, well, famously I only have 3, but you know, of the emotions I dabble in, I don't often find myself in anger.
I wouldn't consider you an angry person by any means.
No.
I think like faux anger, or like
I certainly am a close personal friend of the feeling of frustration.
Yes, I think that's it. There is,
but mine only very rarely tiptoes across the knife's edge over into anger.
Yeah, as the predominant feeling, I would argue, right? Like a percentage. Yeah, I would say you don't really get angry because like I don't really get like I don't like hold anger. That's a weird because it takes a lot.
Yeah,
and it feels bad when you can then like also think about how like, okay, well, given the context of like everybody else and the things that they're doing and their stories, like, can you really be mad? And it's like, no. And then you just are like mad that you don't get to be mad. That's a fun type of mad. Yeah. That's one where you like kick a little plastic thing that's on the ground and you're just like, I should have picked that up earlier, but now I'm mad. And you just do cute stuff. So, but yeah. Anyway, you were cuter then.
I know.
You've gotten old and flabby,
and tired and gross.
Just like
coming apart at the
your
seams.
skin looks like a saddlebag.
It's like crepe paper peeling off of grapefruit.
You look like one of those telephone poles with 30 years worth of shit, but it's also
and
sun
the paint's
bleached.
Yeah.
Yeah. The paint, the tape, fluids, just randomly.
Yeah. I'm the
San Francisco dumpster.
I'm the davit on a really tired old steamship just chugging along the Great Lakes, and they just keep putting paint over the rust. And it's getting so thick that when that nor'easter comes, because it's November and we shouldn't go out one more time, but we're going to have to go out one more time because otherwise we're not going to get bonus.
We're just shy of the bonus. So we could go home now and live, or we can go out one last time.
And then that disaster strikes and, you know, the ship cracks right down the middle and we start to go down and we try to get that lifeboat off the back. The cranks don't work. The davits won't move because there's too much paint on it because we just kept painting over the rust. That's my fate.
Theseus. Ship out of luck. You know, and that's just like my retelling of events.
But these are just observations.
Look, girl, much like you, this is my affidavit, you know?
Right. This is my litigation.
I don't know what a davit was, but affidavit was the word, and I've just been holding on to it this whole time. What is a davit?
Davits are what hold the lifeboat. And
it's the claw? I mean, or, you know, pseudo.
It's the two little hooks.
Ah.
There's a hook on both sides, and the boat is on ropes. And then it goes, and then the boat goes down.
Do you leave the ropes on the lifeboat or on? Well, I guess you'd need to take the ropes with you.
Well, no, like you drop down and then you like unwind them and then you take it back up.
Oh, okay. You don't have to take them with you because that'd be a pain in the ass when there's a new boat and you have to go throw them up.
Yeah, because then when you gotta like load the next.
But if the boat cracked, sank, then maybe.
Usually there's not time. Usually they just end up dying.
Damn.
Yeah. If you ever want to get kind of sad,
listen
just
to the end of the podcast.
Just watch Maritime Horrors or Big Old Boats.
Oh my gosh,
or you
yeah.
know, channels like that, and then just like
stuff will come up.
You know, just like just hear the same story over and over again about like corporate greed destroying the lives of promising.
Yeah, I saw the James Somerton
people.
video.
Yeah. Anyway,
rest in pieces. Anyway, I have a package.
Open it.
Okay, and then I don't know if we've gotten any questions lately.
I haven't noticed any.
But we also could. I think it could be a good time for like if you do guys have any questions, we could do some questions for next week.
Drop some questions. I'm thinking that maybe we streamline the podcast just a little bit back to our original 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that was a good setup.
I agree.
I think that could be good.
I think that is astute. And I also think, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, I mean, it's probably, I think it's been enough time that I guess we could finally exit out of the alpha stage of the podcast and enter into beta.
We can roll into beta.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're going to do, I think we could just have like the loosest amount of structure, which would be more than just us like remembering the bits and then being like, when are we going to do them? Because I agree, like right now, like we're probably going to go for about 5 more minutes or so because I don't think there's any other questions. We're just going to open the package and then adios. Because I agree. I think sometimes there's room for 2 hours. It depends on how much shit.
It depends on what we have to say.
But as a good baseline, I agree because I think for 2 hours sometimes we are stretching it. It could be a little tight. You also just want to see me less, which work.
Famously.
Thank you, Jemmy.
Gemmy.
Gemmy. I didn't. What? How many things are in this box? Okay. Well, it looks like these are headbands. Headbands for women, which is great. You can't wear them.
How dare you?
I will. Oh my goodness. Oh, love you, Grandpa. Except for Jemmy. Oh, thank you, Jemmy. That's very sweet of you. This is too much. And by that I mean there's 4 papers.
Too much.
I hate GIFs. I don't hate GIFs. I hate
PNGs.
Yeah, GIFs. Actually, people calling it GIFs does get to me because like I'm an asshole if I say anything now.
I know.
Look, I'm not saying that I understand this whole like cancel culture, conservative comedy thing, but I will say that when I hear someone say GIF, my immediate instinct is to say it's GIF, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure that if we got down to brass tacks, I'm in the wrong. It is.
The original creator calls them GIFs, and I choose not to, and that flies in defiance of my feelings towards every other pronunciation, which is that like whoever invented it decides. Mm-hmm. And yet here I sit still saying GIF.
Of course. Because why would I change?
My problem, and
I'm not going to bow down to this pronunciation.
Yeah,
shit.
It's tough. It's tough.
Oh, nice. And it's a cute little sundress with pockets, I believe, too.
We love a pocket.
We do. That has been the very small pocket for my very big hand.
Famously.
I mean, I can't cry. Not with this foundation.
Hands too big to cry.
My hands are too big to. The tears.
When I cry into my hands, I can't see.
Yeah, that's it.
I've been there though.
God, sometimes I hate when you have a cry that's going on that like it doesn't even ever seem proportional, but like you can't see, and then it's like your tears burn your eyes. At least mine do. I could be just allergic.
There are people that are allergic to their own tears.
Really?
Do happen.
In this economy? And then I think this is like a stand-up mirror, which is kind of nice from what I can see from the thing. So thank you.
It's a very flat vibrator.
It's the vibrator. Yeah, it's a little pop-up stand.
Nice.
So thank you. That'll be really fun. That'd actually be nice because then I can have it like on my desk and stuff. Because it turns out lighting makes a difference.
Lighting do indeed.
I don't know if you know this. You know it.
And believe me, people notice.
At work? I don't think so. Thank you so much, Jimmy. That was very sweet. You'll end up seeing these soon. Allegedly. But yeah, so you wanna bring them down to like an hour and a half?
I think so. I think that's a good number.
I think we'd have a lot of solidness, especially kind of like going in.
Plus, I think, provided that we are more consistent about doing it every week, I think we'll have, it'll keep it so that we'll have things to say.
Yes.
An hour and a half's worth of things to say every week.
Because we normally do.
We normally do.
But also, this is the beginning. Because this is only the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives. This is only the second episode that we've done where we've started to like rather or more so commit to the Monday. Like this was the first like, well, I guess the live stream was, but that was like special event plan.
Right.
Okay, so we're just going to shoot for Mondays again.
Yes.
Because at this point in our lives, Mondays are actually a really good day.
They are the best day.
So, and like, works for me. So hopefully, I don't care. Well, I guess I'm about to say, I don't care if it works for you all.
It's what you're getting.
Yeah,
but if it doesn't work for you, watch it on another day.
Do let us know. Go ahead and comment multiple times, but wait an hour.
On your alts.
Yeah, that's true. That part.
And then reply to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Start
lore. Do it. Who knows? Stuff will come up. So, but yeah, that's that works for me, and I think you're right. One of those, it'll continue to prosper, and I won't mention do you remember what we were talking about most recently at some point about an idea that we had for a different type of Wiener Weekend video?
Yes.
So there's no promises, no guarantee,
nothing is guaranteed.
Because that's what you call a bonus video, where we just decide to do it, and then it's done, and we don't have to participate.
Boom.
I wish.
You tapped that ass, didn't you?
Fuck it in here. Other guys are just
feeding your lines.
I'm taking a Mickey
D's.
Jordan did not get that reference when we had joked about that when we entered Act 3. Did you notice that? I don't think Jordan did either. I think you laughed, and that's all I cared about. But that's another fun way to say that. Remember that joke that we shared?
I've made him watch at least most of that video. He was like, "Oh, I've seen this," and I'm like,
"You've seen it."
I'm like, "I hear you when you say that, but you don't need to have seen this. You need to know this."
Yeah.
in and out, upside down.
Like, I will admit that
Round
it
and
is difficult when, like, we have years worth of references, but there's many references that we make that we don't get. But it's
Right.
important to at least, like,
There are some that are like touch points.
it's tough when it's just you and me riffing back and forth and we're bit bopping. Because then it's like, oh, I didn't get a laugh from Rick this time because me, play by play, waiting my turn in combat order. And then I'm like, Jordan? No, he's not going to get it. And Josh would, but it's his turn. And he's doing his sharp part.
Famously.
Queen.
T.
Are we in Baldur's Gate now? We're not, right? We're still...
Nope. We're still outside of Baldur's Gate.
Whatever town...
Because Baldur's Gate is for Baldarians.
Oh, that's right.
That's what they said.
Hungary.
They said that.
It is for the Baldarians, apparently. But there's also, like, are we in Rivendell or some shit?
Rivington?
Which also feels like too big of it. I'm tired of big towns with lots of people to talk to.
Oh, it gets bigger.
That's
This is like little town on the outside. This is
a little town that we're in. This one with a lot of people.
compared
in
to
it?
Baldur's Gate, I think, from what I've heard. Like, this is,
the
this,
stories of the city.
if you will, famously.
Sorry, but from
No,
what
what you were. I don't have a. I was trying to think of like a reference, but we don't have like a big city because like Phoenix is like an urban sprawl.
Yeah, it's not a. It'd be like New York.
But it's kind of like being like, are we to Phoenix yet? And it's like, oh,
We're
because
in
the
Gilbert.
city's so big, we're in Phoenix, right? It's like, no, sweaty, you're in Glendale.
Wait, what streets are you on? Because that are you up on 67th? Because for a brief moment you're in Peoria.
I live
and
on
in Glendale.
53rd.
Well, you're in Phoenix, sweaty. I'm sorry.
Gee,
Your kids are going to Thunderbird.
let them go.
Bye. That would be a far drive.
That would be a fun
Unless
drive.
you lived at Thunderbird. Unless you were part of it.
part of it.
Involved. Okay. Well,
Meow.
Famous.
yeah, famously. Well, this was fun. All right. Thank you guys
Thanks.
for watching, listening on all platforms, including YouTube. Including and
limited to YouTube.
because I once Googled how to put it on Spotify, and then I said, "Oh, I'm gonna need to come back to this," and now we're here.
That's our 2025 resolution.
Could we? I don't. Actually, it probably. I don't. It's the whole thing of like, we didn't do it right away.
Right. So how could we do it now?
It's like, well, you could just do it. It's like, okay, but should we just start uploading current ones, or do we
Or
go
do we
back?
have to like?
Backfill.
We have to go back.
I have to go back.
It's getting bigger.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe. We'll see. One day. Yeah. It's just there's a good visual part. There's a lot of good visual gags.
Yeah.
I say as we're sitting.
Gagging visually.
Snatched.
Why are you all gagging so? We bring it to you every episode.
Oh. Hey, some girls snatch. Other girls
Snorch.
snooched, snotched, snitched, snatched, snotched, snot. I know. All right.
Goodbye.
Oh wait, we got.
Tell 3 friends about the podcast and sound off in the trough below, you little content-loving hog, rolling around in the pig pen, clamoring for more slop.